Good afternoon, folks. It's 3:17 p.m. Central Standard Time on March the 9th, 2022. I hope our creators keep me well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button and share this across other platforms, and subscribe if you're new. Got a couple things to go over. This is probably going to be a two-part video. I'm actually going to do this video on why we're having some issues, why our poles are shifting. Okay, we have a large body coming into our solar system. Its name is Nemesis. It is our second sun. We have two suns. We are a binary star system. And because it is a star, it has a lot of magnetism. So with that magnetism, it will draw our poles away from where it was to another direction. It's like drawing two magnet, you draw a larger magnet towards a smaller one, it's going to kind of move around. Now imagine them being balls or spheres. They're gonna tip, they're gonna move. Now, before anybody starts going on this, oh, but the earth is flat and the earth is blah blah blah. Listen, if you really do the math, if you use math and physics and common logic, you'll understand that the earth is not flat. Okay? Oh, it goes in the Bible. Well, when you understand that the Bible was actually part of a psyop, a long-term psyop, you start to realize, man, I think I've been duped again because the earth is not flat. Okay? In the Bible and all across Europe, they told us if the earth is flat, if you go too far out in the ocean, you're going to fall off and you're going to never be seen again, and blah, blah, blah. Installing fear into sailors. They wanted them to fear. They didn't want them to discover the New World, or what it was considered back then, the New World, or the Americas. They didn't want that discovery. They wanted to try and have control of it. Do you understand that? It was all used through fear. They put it in the Bible. Oh yeah, the earth is flat. The earth is not flat. Okay, oh, but it says the four corners and these pillars. Oh, gosh. It was a psyop, okay? An old psyop. Fear is what was put into our human emotions to react, to not do something that we're told not to do. We're told not to do it, you follow it, okay? This goes very ancient, okay? And one of the other things that has to be done is you have to understand something, okay? The base of the Great Pyramid of Giza, okay? Here we are, Great Pyramid of Giza. Okay, when you add up the base of Giza, and when you do the math, it is the exact diameter of the Earth's circumference. Okay, the exact circumference. How could anyone possibly have known that doing this would have given us our circumference? Now, before, some people, oh well, it was done by, they stated that later. Well, no, not necessarily. The narrative isn't that way. The truth is, when you go back and you look in history, Earth's circumference, I put in, when was the Earth's circumference estimated? So how did we know exactly what it was? Well, look at this. In 1617, the Dutch scientist Willibord Snellius assesses the circumference of the Earth at 24,630 Roman miles. Here we go, Roman again, right? Or 24,024 statute miles, which is amazing. 1617, right? Okay, that's a pretty cool number. But then we go back here and we look. Oh, look at this. Alexandria, Egypt, in 200 BC, estimated the Earth's circumference. So they've known about the Earth's circumference for a very long time. Estimated 2,000 years ago. Long time ago they discovered this. Okay, so we've known about the Earth's circumference for thousands of years. Okay, now why would we know it for thousands of years? Well, when was the pyramids built? Thousands of years ago, right? Now, check this out. This is what I did. I went ahead and I wanted to figure out, the most recent time where new man, being us, discovered when the Earth's circumference was round, and that it wasn't flat, that it was a globe. Well, right here, 1617 is the closest date to today that I could find. 1617. Okay. Now let's go back and find out when exactly was it that they discovered the pyramids in Egypt. Here we are back over on Wikipedia, and look at this. See, we're at Wikipedia. 1837. Okay, that's when they found the relieving chambers. Okay, 1837 compared to 1617. So they knew what the Earth's circumference was before they even discovered the doggone pyramids again, where they were covered in sand, and then started digging them up and finding out what the actual circumference was. Okay, so they knew what it was before they found the pyramids, so that way people can say, nobody can hear that's listening can say, oh, well, they took that information after they found the pyramids. No, wrong answer. It's the other way around, and it's a difference of 200 and, let's look at that year. What are we looking at here? 1617? 1837? That's 220 years exactly. Okay, so we can throw that right out the window. The Earth is not flat. It is a globe. And I'm going to show you some more things, okay? Because if you understand, once you understand physics and you understand geometry and you start understanding calculus, you'll start to understand, yes, we're a globe, because the math doesn't add up for it to be flat, and neither does any other scientific data to prove it. All it is theories, okay? Now, this is based on a severe theory, but they still know that it's round because of physics, because of numbers, running the numbers. Okay, why else would the Navy, the United States Naval Observatory, run so many numbers and plans and know that this other body is coming towards us? Know when it's going to be here, know where our rotation is in the solar system to when it's going to pass. There's no way they would be able to do that. Okay, so now that we've kind of put that off to the side, let's dig into it. What we are looking at here is a chart of what's known as Planet X, or Nemesis. It's also known as Nibiru. It's also known as Wormwood. But the problem with a lot of that is that Planet X is what they consider the 10th planet. It is actually called Nibiru or Wormwood, the horned planet. Okay? Nemesis is the star, and Nibiru or Planet X goes around it. Okay? Just like we have our sun here, and we have our planets that go around it, Nemesis is a secondary sun, and it has its own planets that go around it. Okay? So this solar system is coming into our solar system, and it does it on a regular basis. They already know the flight path. Now, as we're looking at this, it's 3,600 years. Now, as we're looking at this long, elongated orbit, we have to understand that it's not coming at us in a plane that's along like the horizon. Okay, like it comes up from underneath us. So let me kind of go over here and show you a little bit. So here's a little bit more of an understanding. We're actually going to see this on a video. I'm going to try and show you guys. You can hit pause and take a look at this if you want to for the area. I mean, NASA has sent all kinds of satellites up here looking for it and trying to find it. They've known about this for a long time. They're just not telling about everybody. They're not telling anybody about it. They're really keeping things on the hush-hush. Okay? Look at this. It's published documents in the Hebrew calendar. I mean, this is all calculated. The Bible, if you will, is a galactic almanac, like a farmer's almanac, and it's telling us of things that are going on in the solar system, our sun, our secondary sun, things like that. You have your good sun, your bad sun. Your good, your evil, your yin, your yang. So that's something that you have to understand. As within, so without. So you have to try and understand. There's a lot of deeper meaning in these things. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go over here to Solar System Scope. All right, and I'll actually hit playback on this because the music is kind of soothing to me. So, as we're looking at our solar system here, we can see that our planets, okay, versus our sun, you can see that it doesn't go perfectly around. It gets a little bit closer on one side, and then it gets a little bit further away from the sun here because it's going like this, getting close and then going back out, and it's getting close and then going back out. All of the planets do that, okay, around our star. Now, as we orbit our star, our main star, which name is Sol, okay, we have a Sol. The name of our star is called Sol, our main star. As we go around it this way, horizontal, if we want to call it the horizon or the ecliptic, I believe, if we go on around it this way, that's not how Nemesis does it, okay? Nemesis comes up from underneath and goes this way, okay? So it's not going around like along the horizon like all of our other planets do. It comes up from underneath and goes around like this, which is why we don't see it. Okay, which is why the South Pole is another reason why we don't have access to the South Pole. Because if you got down there with infrared telescopes and things like that, you'd be able to see it. And they don't want people to see it. Does that make sense? The southern region is the only way that we can possibly see it. All right? Now, we're going to do a two-part series with this because as this guy is going on, I'm actually going to start picking apart and showing you guys things that, again, with some movie connections.
Good evening, friends. Stephen Benin here with Israeli News Live and Planet X here on Patreon. And boy, this one's going to be a very difficult video to do with you guys.
This is his channel, Israeli News Live.
As you know, I have been involved with a project on this with the government, volunteering some insight on things that I'm asked about. And I know that there have been 3 different bodies that they are tracking that are all potential Planet X objects. Well, a new meeting that had just came out in the government about Planet X, and or as they call it, Planet 9, that totally took me by surprise. Now, it does not change the meteorite object of 2031, or not meteorite, but the comet, I should say, of 2031, the one that they call the Planet Killer, or extinction level event.
Remember the movie Deep Impact, 1998? Once again, they tell us in movies, folks.
Paleontology have to do with anything.
Remember this movie, folks? How about the movie Armageddon? You guys remember that one? Same thing. They're telling us. Ain't it funny how Armageddon and Deep Impact came out shortly, right around the same time? Because it was important. It was important for us to know this.
This is something that they're preparing for in 2030, 2031 extinction level event, which is what I have really believed to be the coming Planet X. Of course, there was another one that they told me about, another comet that would come through in 2024, 2025-ish, roughly in that time frame. Also, they consider that one there to be one that could cause some significant problems. But then today, of course, the third one I've been told about would be the one that's coming this year, the comet that will come through, I think, in April, which is what
April of this year,
referred to by, Gil Broussard. That's the one for this year. Today, however,
that's why I check it on a regular basis to see the meteors that are coming close.
A totally new set of time frames for Planet X. It does not change the, as I said, the 2030, 2031 body. But so I asked if there was any updates on Planet X, and I was told yes, that the system that it is a part of will actually enter into our solar system by September this year, 2021. And it was also told to me that by the end of the year of, or excuse me, 2022, sorry, not 2021, but 2022, but by the end of this year of 2022, it will begin to affect the planets as it comes nearer to the Earth. That completely caught me off guard. I've been anticipating that these comets, or one of the 2 of these, at least out of the 3031, as well as the 2024, 2025, would actually be Planet X. Then I'm totally blindsided by this information here. I went back to the initial information that I have on the memory stick that I gave Paul Bagley. U.S. Naval Observatory, for example, here announced Dr. Robert S. Harrington, supervisor of...
Folks, remember to keep our eyes open. No fear. Remember that love is the only way forward. Stay tuned for part 2. Please make sure you hit the like button and share this across your platforms.